everybody, it's Lori Broccoloni, HappyNaturalHorse.com, and today we're going to talk about handling head trauma. So lots of times show season's getting ready to start and horses go in trailers or they get crazy because they're on the spring grass and they've been cooped up and been eating a lot of protein and blah blah woof woof, and they bang their heads, now and then, you know what I mean? So hopefully you can see me. It's showing transparency here, but hopefully it will show up. But you don't really need to see me because the content is for you about what to do when your horse has a head trauma. So, horses that don't have their brains and they got a little right brain, they have a tendency to bang their heads. And some can die from it. I've heard stories where people load a horse and they hit their head and they're dead, because it can happen. But their head's pretty solid up there. The atlas is pretty protective over the brain. But it does happen, and so what happens is, in this, talks about it in this article, which I'll have in my blog post, and you can read about it. And it talks about the structure of the head and the front of the head, the nasal, and you'll see when the horse hits his head, the nerve can be damaged, and you'll see it in the nose, and the nasal. It'll be misformed. Their eyes will be either protruding up and down. And I do have a story about that if you want to hear it, but I do want to do this really quickly. So it says the side of the skull, usually there's bones there to protect the eyeball, but in some cases horses have a tendency to bang that too. I had a horse once at the racetrack, and believe it or not, she had flipped. She always flipped in the gate, and she was the fastest horse on the track. She had the fastest time. Little filly, cute little thing. And when I went to see her, her eye was like, one eye was up and the other eye was down. It was like, he spent $5,000 to try to fix this horse because she ran so fast in the morning. Would not race, would not come out of the gate. And so what happened was, he asked me to come look at her. And I learned two things that day. So, we're going to go into what you do. So I did the eye tapping, which I'll show you in a minute. And what happened was I tapped in her eye, and believe it or not, and I pulled on her tail, held her tail, put her atlas back in, worked on her and everything. And believe it or not, her eye came down. And he could not believe it. Oh my God. She had a race, I think 2 days later. And so I taught his groom how to keep tapping on that eye and tapping on that eye, and it was amazing how it brought the eye down and she was able to breathe out. It didn't completely heal it, but it did a lot better, and the owner was thrilled. I went back and I gave him some homeopathics, what I'll tell you in a minute. And the horse was like getting ready to race, and I couldn't believe the eye. I mean, the eyes were almost level and it wasn't looking up as bad. So we tapped it down, but then I checked her suspensory point, which is in my book, Natural Econ Remedies. And I couldn't believe it. She buckled. And so I'm like, oh my God, you're getting ready to race her and she's got a problem. So she's got an issue here. So I looked down and we felt whenever you do the suspensory point and it buckles, the horse buckles, it's always below the knee. So you want to check below the knee. Okay. And so there, sure enough, he had it wrapped too tight. Her tendon was swollen. So he unwrapped it quickly because he wrapped her wrong. And fortunately, you have to hose that, and you're going to have to give her these homeopathics, and, if you're going to race her tonight, I wouldn't race her on that, but anyways, I learned three things. I learned three things. So anyways, I'm getting off subject here, but this is a really good story. So, and then he goes, well, she's a mare, and she was fast, and it's like, what? She's not going to race. So she has this trauma. She's racing at 10 horses. She's not going to race because she doesn't have the heart for racing. She's not going to get out there in 10 horses, a 10-horse field, even though she's the fastest horse on the track. She is not going to go because she's not a fool. She's not stupid. She's not going to sit there and go, hey, I already injured myself once. I'm not doing it again. You go ahead, fools. I'll just gallop behind. No matter how much you beat her, she ain't going to run. That's just their mentality. You need a horse that wants to dig in. Anyways, to make a long story short, he goes, well, if she doesn't come out of the gate tonight, he says, she gets rolled off. And I looked at him and I said, oh my God, you should have never said that. And he looked at me and he said, what do you mean I should have never said that? And I said, you shouldn't have said that because she's not going to come out of the gate. I said, what's going to happen to her? And he says, oh, I'm going to make her into a broodmare. I said, oh, instead of slaughtering her? I said, that is awesome. Now she's not going to come out of the gate. You told her that she's going to go be a broodmare and be a mommy. And he, oh my God, he said, she's going to come out of that gate. I said, no, she's not. Not if she's ruled off and she can get the hell out of here. Anyways, she did not come out of the gate. She got ruled off and she became a mommy. So, but anyway, so she had that eye trauma. It was the worst eye trauma I've ever seen in my life. So, if you have head trauma, of course call your vet. Of course call your vet. I would get an ice pack right away, and I would have homeopathics on hand. So this is what they said. If there's bleeding from the nose, eyes, or ears, definitely call your vet. If it's fallen to the ground, it did not immediately get up, call your vet. When he does not get up, he acts stunned, cannot seem to walk normally and get his bearing. Do not get that horse up. And if you notice any swelling, call the vets whenever you see this. Most of the time, like we had this horse we took out of the meat pen, and I'm going to talk about that later. But to make a long story short about him, he was a klepto. I mean, this horse you could ride him all week long. You put him in the paper to sell, and oh my God, he would be lame for 2 days, then he'd be sound for a week. He just didn't want to leave. So, and he would always hurt himself. I mean, he was just clumsy, And so, make a long story short, excuse my dog's barking. Hey! No! So anyways, what happened was, we were loading him. We finally sold him, found the right home. He got in the trailer and he reared and he hit his head. And he came out and he was drooling. And I was like, oh my God, I just sold this horse. So I rubbed it. So my vet said to rub the forehead really, really well and hard, and then rub the side. I was not holistic then. I don't think I'd went to school yet. No, I hadn't gone to school yet. So I didn't know about essential oils. But he told me to rub it, and we walked him around, and thank God, he was fine. He went back on the trailer, and he got the hell out of here. So, what do? Well, you go to my YouTube video. It's called Equine Eye Release for Head Shaking and Rearing. Okay? You want to go there, and I'll play this a little bit. I'll cut off the sound. And what you're going to do is you're going to tap on the horse. Let's see. It's windy here. And you're just going to tap all around the eye. See that? And you'll hear this clicking sound. It'll go click, 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 click. So you just tap until that horse blinks. You want him to blink. Okay? So watch this video. It'll be in my it will be in my blog post. So then the next thing you want to do is, if you can't afford the DDR Prime, you should have this on hand verbatim. This is a oil from doTERRA. It actually repairs cellular structure of the tissue, and it is an amazing oil. It supports healthy cellular integrity. And because they have a gag order, we can't say too much. All I can say is this stuff is the bomb, and you really need to get it. Get it from my site, My doTERRA, Lori Broccoloni. I will have it in the blog. So the other one is for nerve damage, because that's where, if you have head trauma, you're going to have nerve damage. Peppermint is their suggested use, and so is yarrow. But suggested essential oils for neuropathy, peppermint. Okay, and you don't want to get I don't know what would happen if I click here. No. Okay, well, let's just forget that. So anyway, so you want peppermint. And then you want to get the homeopathic Hyperchem. Right here. You see that? Hyperchem. Alright? And what this does is it helps with the nervousness, but it also helps improve the nerve injuries. This stuff is amazing. Okay? It is amazing. Don't think that those little tiny pills do nothing, because they do. So you want to give 3 pills, 30 cc's. Okay? This is how you buy them, but I don't buy mine here. I just wanted to show you what they do. You want to get a 30C bottle, 15 little mil. That's the size, and you don't need 200C. You just need 30C. Give 3 pills twice a day. Do it for 5 days. You'll see a difference within 3 days. You'll probably see a difference right away. So you rub the oil, the peppermint oil, on top of the head. Do the tapping in the eye release, and give the homeopathics for 5 days, and you should be good to go. Okay. Quick video. Sorry it was a little long. I just had to tell you that story about that horse. I thought it was just hilarious. Hey, listen, if you want your natural equine health tips, click below, sign up for it, get your more tips on horses, my newsletter and stuff like that, and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to this blog, follow this blog, and comment. Tell me, if you had any head trauma or anything, or share this knowledge with people, because this knowledge really helps horses. Okay. So, and I've helped hundreds of horses and their horse owners to their horses' wellness. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I absolutely love it. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel. Bye.